Hello, everybody in the cadre and beyond, out there in the Ethernet. Saturday, big doings here in the last 24 hours. Lots going on, lots to get into. If you're watching this, you read my warning that I had posted above this video. So, some things can't be unheard. I'm not going to say unseen, because you're not going to see anything different than you always see, but some things can't be unheard. So, not safe for work, alert, alert, warning, warning, danger, Will Robinson. No, it's not X-rated. It's just talk of an adult medical nature. So, tonight's shave, gonna do my Corette 14 2.0, which is the extra hollow ground, thinned belly, doesn't have the like the New Science concave kind of grind to it, like some of his has. 7/8 plus, very nice blade. I enjoy it very much. It's one of my favorites. You guys know it, like my 14s. So, and then tonight's soap brought to you by Dave in Kentucky. His sample he sent me of SV, the 70th anniversary. Last night was Uptunia and all. Didn't do a video because of some of the doings going on. So, I'll begin the story. Yesterday evening, everything's going fine. Me and the missus are deciding on what we're gonna do for dinner. Just about then, she receives a panic phone call from her pregnant eldest daughter, my stepdaughter, her daughter-in-law, saying that her and her husband had been in an accident about 20-25 minutes away from our house, and the ambulance was on its way, and they were going to be going to the hospital out of abundance of caution because the airbags deployed on the passenger side. She was driving, and her airbag did not deploy. She was wearing her seatbelt, and so was he. And they were what they thought was okay, but because her being pregnant, they wanted to have her go get checked out. So she goes to the hospital, gets checked out. 4 hours of observation and all that stuff. Nurse Dave, I'm sure you would be aware of all the protocols that have to be followed with that. So, needless to say, everything's fine. But after the 4 hours was over and all that, and they were able to be released, it was like around 1 o'clock in the morning. So I got to stay up and go drive down and pick them up and then take them all the way home, and then got home. So I get home around 2:30. So that was enjoyable. Many's the night when I was younger, I would get home much later than 2:30 on a Friday night, but for very different reasons. Baltimore has a couple different bar districts. One of them being Fells Point, another one being the Water Street area. You got downtown, the power plant downtown, but that was never really a thing for me and my friends. And Annapolis has a pretty good bar district because the Naval Academy is down there and all. So Annapolis being the capital, the politicians drink and wine and dine and wheel and deal during the day in the bars, and then in the evenings you get the midshipmen and probably the politicians back in there again in the bars down there. Fells Point, because of the harbor, you would get a lot of merchant marines and sailors and that kind of stuff. long time ago, but the bar district stayed. A lot of the piers aren't really working piers anymore down there, but everything goes through what's called the Dundalk Marine Terminal and all, and it's one of them big huge Mondo terminals and all. So anywho, so back to the story of them being fine, getting home at 3 o'clock in the morning. So me and the missus go to bed. Around old 5 o'clock, I get up, take a, do a early morning drainage check, and notice a bit of pain and discomfort down in the, as the British would say, twig and berries region. And upon getting back to bed, it was very difficult to get comfortable. And I know what you're all saying. How could this be possible? Old Fluffy's got balls of steel. Well, apparently my balls of steel are rusted, shall we say. So, this morning, I end up going to a prompt care place called MedStar Health. And they get me in there. And of course I got to put on my mask and all, keep everybody happy. And declare that I haven't traveled and I don't have the Chinese virus. So I get seen after a little bit by a young female doctor. I'm gonna say I'm guessing it was either Pakistan or India, but very nice doctor, very nice woman. And she had to have the nurse come in. So one of the few times that as a married man, you can admit to everyone that I was in a room with 2 young, attractive women, naked from the waist down. And well, even though they put gloves on, it kind of takes the mood away, but they were both manipulating me, which was interesting. And yes, one testicle was swelled up on one side, quite painful to the touch. And she tells me, well, I'd like to have an ultrasound done to make sure there isn't a torsion, physical damage, or a problem of that such. And we don't have that here. So I'm going to have you go to the emergency room at the local hospital. So after explaining what she thought it would be, what she wanted to rule out, away I go from the prompt care place. And well, I stopped home first, got some more coffee, got a little something bite to eat, because I was hungry. The pain emanating from down below did not vanquish my hunger, because I'm that much of a, badass. And up to the hospital I go. So that place is like a ghost town. Now, mind you, we're a fairly, I'd say, medium densely populated county here where I live at. On the I-9, I mean smack dab in the middle of the I-95 corridor. 30 minutes away from lovely downtown Baltimore, where if you really want to be fashionable and safe, your garments will contain Kevlar to a certain degree or another. And I get there and check in. And within like half an hour, now the third female that I'm not married to is checking me out from the waist down, close up and personal, like gloves and that wonderful gel. Now the one thing that they did have, the gel thing was like in a warmer, so it was nice and warm. It wasn't cold. So, but then that negated the ability to claim shrinkage. So I don't know whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. So ultrasound complete, and of course she wasn't allowed to give me any thoughts and opinions because that's reserved for somebody else. But she didn't make any gasps. She didn't jump back. She didn't blink hard and say, "Oh my God." So I'm assuming there was nothing wrong. And then of course my suspicions were confirmed. The doctor comes in. Now finally it's a male, which is neither here nor there, but young guy, seemed like a nice guy, and proceeds to tell me that everything's fine, this and that. He sees this all the time. It's an infection in the one side, and I'm gonna get some antibiotics and this and that, and take them for 10 days. And probably within 48 hours or so, it should start to feel better, which is very, very hopeful that that will happen. Because as it is, I'm walking like a cowboy that just got done running the Kaibab Trail with 5,000 head of longhorn cattle to the market. And I haven't ridden a horse in years. So now you're saying to yourself, sweet Jesus, well, my Friday night and Saturday morning went a hell of a lot better than that. And that's the object of the exercise, that you may get a little joy and realize that even if you thought your life was screwed up, it's not as screwed up as mine was in the last 24 hours. Kind of like watching, Jerry Springer or Judge Judy or that hoarding Buried Alive. Then My 600-Pound Life, you think to yourself, my God, I'm fat. And then they got that woman on My 600-Pound Life, and they don't even have to blur anything out because you can't see anything. Which is, wow, it is what it is. That's not cool, but I'm sorry that they're like that, but I'm glad that Dr. Nowzowdy is able to try to help them. And get their lives somewhere back in order. So, I get all shaved up. Oh, and after I got back from the hospital and did a few little things and all, I decided, didn't feel like cooking, neither did the missus, so we went out and got to one of our local Mexican restaurants that, of course, is closed down but can do the carry out. She got grilled chicken quesadillas, and I got the enchilada Americanas, or enchilada Mexicanas, which is 3 different enchiladas, a chicken, a pork, and a beef one, and 3 different kinds of sauces with the Spanish rice and refried beans, and they throw in a little bag of chips and salsa and all for you when you do takeout. So, and that's always pretty daggone skippy, and enjoy that very much. Now I got my shave done, gonna relax a little bit, and So, yeah, really like this soap. It is on the stronger edge of the scent strength spectrum, which I like. And I like the scent as well. And the performance is, of course, good. So, this and the Optunia will probably go on my list, but not as high up as the Zingari Man Soloist or the now I'm going to try to say it and I'm going to mess it up. The thrice great Trimescutus Declaration Grooming. I really like the smell of that and the performance on that. The milk steak base is very good. So anywho, we're only at 16 minutes and I managed to ramble quite a bit. So I hope y'all didn't, you know, get upset about my medical speech or medical problems and such. The one thing that was kind of interesting, that emergency room doctor basically made it known that, oh yeah, this happens. I see this a couple of times a month, no big deal, very common, but most guys don't talk about it or admit that it happened to them or whatever. So everybody thinks it's less common than it actually is, and but it's common, is what he said. So now, Nurse Dave, you can come on and comment and maybe say whether or not that is true, or whether he's saying that just to make me feel good, but I'm 99% sure he wasn't embellishing or trying to make me feel good. He was just explaining it in a matter of fact. So, but all should be well within a day or two, hopefully. All right, so now this is more of like a cologne type scent on this soap. I forget what the scent notes are, and I couldn't really point them out to you. I just know it's a pleasant scent. I like it. Kind of maybe a sweeter cologne type scent or whatever. I'm gonna do the Tayback Man with this. Not really worried about pairing it. It's not that strong. Don't think it would linger that much. Not many soaps, in my opinion, do that. But it always is nice to have like matched kind of stuff. And as of yet, I have yet to buy matching aftershave with the soap, but that probably is going to be on the horizon on maybe a couple of the ones that I really do like. Once I zero in on things like that and all, I don't mind having the same thing paired up and all. So, well, no, I can't. I got the Tayback. I've got Tayback aftershave and Tayback cologne and Tayback shave soap and Tayback bath soap. So, and I use Tayback deodorant. So I lied. I do have paired stuff. I've got everything Tayback. It's like a Tayback store in here. But I do like that very much. Very good products. Well, hope you guys have a great rest of your Saturday. And I'll be chatting with you on the forums. I've enjoyed watching everybody's videos here lately. Saw some things. Dave in Kentucky. I really do like that razor that you got made up, the 3D printed one. And when I got online, I found out my library actually has a 3D printer that I'll let dumbasses like me come in and use, I'm guessing. But everything's on lockdown. So now I have a reason really to be excited about everything getting back to normal after this Chinese virus runs its course. And I'll be first in line up there at the library trying to see whether or not I can use that thing and print me up one of them single edge razors, and just to see what it's all about. So I will talk to you guys later. Take it easy.